Welcome everybody on podcast with Gaurav. Hashtag AskGC. So we have covered pretty much a lot of topics regarding the first home buying, and today we are going even deeper, where we are going to touch base all the pain points कि कौन-कौन सी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जिसका आपको बहुत ही तरीके से ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि आपकी कोई भी गलती ना हो. I want to know, let's say if I am buying a house, so what will be the extra cost which I need to keep in mind, apart from just the making the deposit and getting the settlement done?
See, I generally recommend my clients कि आप $3,000 से $4,000 bare minimum आपके पास होने चाहिए for different sort of expenses, such as कि जब आप घर लेते हैं तो obviously when you settling the house you need a lawyer to be involved, and generally their fees range from 1,400 to 2,200 depending on कीवी सेवर विड्रॉ करना है या नहीं है और किसी और तरह की कॉम्प्लिकेशन है. इसके अलावा काफ़ी बार आपको बिल्डिंग इंस्पेक्शन करवाने की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, स्पेशली अगर कोई पुराना घर है तो इट्स एडवाइज्ड. आई वुड हाईली एडवाइज दैट यू गेट दैट डन पर्सनली, बट बैंक्स भी आपको वो कंडीशन डाल सकते हैं. एंड थर्ड वुड बी द वैल्यूएशन. वी कॉल इट रजिस्टर्ड वैल्यूएशन. तो जनरली क्या होता है कि जब आप 80% से ज़्यादा LVR कंडीशन पे घर बाय कर रहे हैं, विच बेसिकली मीन्स कि आपकी इक्विटी इज़ लेस देन 20%, तो उस केस में बैंक मोर ऑफन देन नॉट आस्क फॉर अ रजिस्टर्ड वैल्यूएशन. Okay, and that generally costs you around $800 to $1,200, and that cost has recently gone up because of the fuel prices. So you need to factor all those expenses in, and that's where I'm saying that you have at least 3,000 to 4,000, maybe 5,000 spare funds just to cater to these sort of activities that you have to carry out and strike off.
So I'm just thinking out loud. So if you are buying a worst house on the best street, what do you call this strategy as?
I would call that a good strategy.
Okay.
It's always pays off. Yes, you can buy a very fancy house in a not so great suburb, and you might actually love living there. But when it comes to investments, nothing beats buying a great house in a great location if you can. But अगर आप afford नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो then there's always an opportunity for you to buy a property which has better potential in the future, and that generally is dictated by location first, then land, and then the property improvements themselves.
Can you name few suburbs, like for example?
Well, traditionally anything central sells really well. It's generally in demand. कोविड के बाद से काफ़ी इक्वेशन चेंज हो गई है. काफ़ी लोग अभी वेस्ट में, नॉर्थ में, साउथ, ईस्ट साइड पे भी काफ़ी ग्रोथ हुई है. काफ़ी लोग वहाँ पे मूव करना पसंद कर रहे हैं फॉर डिफरेंट रीजंस. ए वैल्यू फॉर मनी कि सेम प्राइस में जो आप सेंट्रल में एक घर अफोर्ड कर पाओगे, यू माइट गेट अ बिगर हाउस इन लेट्स से फ्लैटबुश और towards west in Ranoi Huapai, and then just the ease of commute, because if you're living closer to a train station, then you can afford to live slightly away from the CBD, but still be able to commute without any grief on day-to-day basis.
And what would be the biggest red flag you see in this whole journey?
In the journey?
Yeah, of buying the first home or choosing the right property.
Well, mostly it's around weather tightness. तो काफ़ी बार मैंने शायद पहले भी एग्जांपल यूज़ किया है कि कुछ क्लाइंट्स ट्राई करते हैं कि उनको एक एग्जिस्टिंग घर मिले विद लैंड, which sounds great, but sometimes it's not feasible or practical within their budget range. तो उस केस में काफ़ी बार जो ऑप्शंस उनको मिलती हैं वो उन घरों की होती है जिसमें काफ़ी मेंटेनेंस वर्क है, which is still okay to an extent, but if it requires significant improvements, and that is usually in terms of weather tightness, then my advice to my clients is don't get into it.
So this is where that inspection come in handy. So you invest that $800 or $1,200 just to make sure कि कल को ऐसा कुछ ना हो कि आप regret करो कि why did I put my so much money into it.
एब्सोल्युटली। और
Yeah.
बैंक्स भी आजकल काफ़ी इस मामले में दे आर वेरी पर्टिकुलर।
Mm-hmm.
दे वुड वांट टू मेक श्योर कि जो भी वो प्रॉपर्टी एज ए सिक्योरिटी ले रहे हैं उसमें कोई वेदर टाइटनेस इश्यूज ना हो।
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a couple of banks use an internal software where they can check. They have this flagging system where a property gets flagged if it has known weather tightness issues.
Mm-hmm.
Those case may definitely they'll ask for a building report.
So Gaurav, according to you, are new builds always better, or you can go for old houses? Because we were just discussing about the structural thing which can happen. So you think new build are always a better option, or we can go with the old builds also?
इसको ना थोड़ा सा पिवट करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ.
Instead of saying कि old houses, existing houses are
No,
always
existing. Okay.
a good option,
Hmm.
or
और
can
new
they
build. हाँ.
go with new build? क्योंकि आजकल कोई new build नहीं buy करना चाह रहा।
क्यों?
पीपल आर सेइंग कि भाई न्यू बिल्ड में लैंड नहीं मिलता है, ये नहीं मिलता है, वो नहीं मिलता है, तो एवरीवन हैज़ देयर नोशन ना कि पुराना घर है तो उसमें लैंड मिलेगा, वैल्यू अप्रिशिएट होगी। तो उसको थोड़ा सा काउंटर करना है अपने को कि दैट्स नॉट ऑलवेज ट्रू।
So what is the right approach?
Traditionally, it's the land that appreciates in value more than the house itself. तो there is a conventional wisdom कि अगर आप कोई घर ले रहे हो with substantial land attached to it, then if the property prices do go up in the future, then your property would appreciate more, which is true to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But मैं हमेशा ये एग्जांपल यूज़ करता हूँ कि जब market is on the upswing, then pretty much all the properties have some sort of appreciation, right? ऐसा हो सकता है कि जो अच्छी लैंड वाली है, अच्छे इम्प्रूवमेंट वाली प्रॉपर्टी है, उसकी वैल्यू ज़्यादा अप्रिशिएट हो, बट दैट्स नॉट टू से कि बाकी प्रॉपर्टीज वोंट अप्रिशिएट एट ऑल। सो इट्स ऑल रिलेटिव।
Mm-hmm.
बट काफ़ी बार फर्स्ट होम बायर्स ये गलती करते हैं कि दे गेट टू एनरोल्ड इनटू बाइंग अ हाउस which has bigger section.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, everyone wants the best out of their investment, but जो current market है, especially Auckland, Wellington में, it's very hard to find something good under a mil, let's say, especially central. तो उस केस में what I can advise is कि you can start with new builds as well,
Mm-hmm.
because as I used the statement last time कि your first home is very rarely your dream home, especially in this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a stepping stone towards the property portfolio. तो आप शुरू कर सकते हैं एक न्यू बिल्ड से, which may not have massive land to it, but there would be less maintenance, and the rental appraisal would be slightly higher, as we've seen in the market. So in that way, it could turn into a good rental investment in the future. So you start with that.
Mm-hmm.
You live in that house for say 2 to 5 years. You build a base from there, and then you look for then you look at upgrading yourself to a much bigger house with more land to it, and this house could become your rental investment where there's less maintenance work required for you and less maintenance work required for your tenants. It's more of a lock and leave sort of setup.
So that brings us to the end of this beautiful conversation. I hope you guys have got a lot of value out of it. A lot of nuances you got to know about buying your first home, how to balance your payments, do you have to make any repayment or not extra apart from the mortgage which you are already paying, stuff like that. So you guys would still have a lot of questions which you want to get your answers to, so write it in the comment section so that we can help you address those questions. And if you need professional financial advice regarding your first home buying, then you can get in touch with us through the link in the description, and Gaurav will help you out sorting out all your finances, planning, and getting your loan approved, and make sure that you settle nicely in your new home. So take care of yourself. We shall see you in our next video. Till the time, take care of yourself. Bye bye.